Alice had been married to Tom for almost 10 years. They had met in college and fallen in love quickly. They had been inseparable ever since, through ups and downs, sickness and health. Alice thought she knew everything about Tom, until one day, she discovered he had a secret. It all started when Tom had to work late one evening. Alice had been home, waiting for him to return for dinner, but he never showed up. She tried calling him, but he didn't answer. Alice waited up for him, growing more and more worried as the hours passed. Finally, around midnight, Tom walked through the door. He looked disheveled, tired, and smelled of alcohol. Alice was angry and upset. "Where have you been?" she demanded. Tom mumbled something about having a drink with a colleague after work, but Alice didn't believe him. She could tell he was hiding something. She didn't want to push too hard, so she decided to let it go. But over the next few weeks, Alice noticed that Tom was distant and distracted. He was often on his phone, texting and making calls, even when they were together. Alice tried to ignore it, but it bothered her. One day, Alice decided to confront Tom about his behavior. She demanded to know what was going on. Tom looked at her with a mixture of sadness and guilt in his eyes. "There's someone else," he said softly. Alice was stunned. She couldn't believe what she was hearing. Tom went on to explain that he had been seeing someone else for a few months. He didn't love Alice any less, but he had developed feelings for this other person. Alice was devastated. She didn't know what to do. She loved Tom with all her heart, but she couldn't bear the thought of sharing him with someone else. She told him she needed time to think. Over the next few days, Alice thought long and hard about what to do. She loved Tom, but she couldn't forgive him for cheating on her. She decided that she had to leave him. Alice packed her bags and moved out of their apartment. Tom begged her to stay, but she knew it was the right thing to do. She couldn't be with someone who didn't love her completely. Years went by, and Alice moved on with her life. She met someone new, got married, and had children. She never forgot about Tom, but she learned to live without him. One day, Alice ran into Tom by chance. He looked older, but still handsome. They talked for a few minutes, catching up on old times. Tom apologized for what he had done, but Alice told him it was in the past. She had moved on, and so had he. As they said goodbye, Alice couldn't help but wonder what might have been if Tom had never met the other man. But she knew that it didn't matter. She was happy with her life now, and that was all that mattered.